To think that the guy that got kidnapped by Zepp and woke up in a bathtub would years later end up putting out what might be the best ever reboot of a Universal monster property is outrageous. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm still going to talk about it. So when we talk about monster movies, we normally categorize them in certain ways, right? You've got your kaiju flicks. You've got your werewolf flicks. You've got your vampires. You got your zombies. You got your whatever the hell creature the Black Lagoon was, a cryptid or whatever. It's not often we get a Wolfman picture. We had the original Wolfman in the 40s. We had the 2010 remake. We've got what Lee Winnell just released and opened yesterday, which I'll get to in a minute. And then I think we've got Wolf, the Jack Nicholson, James Spader film from the mid 90s, maybe late 90s. But holy shit, did Lee Winnell knock it out of the park with this one. Before I get into it, though, hey everybody, my name's Chris. Go by CJ sometimes, from Nightmares and Nerdscapes. This is going to be my spoiler-free review of Lee Winnell's new 2025 horror film, Wolfman, starring Christopher Abbott and Julia Garner. And holy cow, guys, when I say that I was excited about this film, I don't mean that to be hyperbole by any stretch of the imagination. I heard that it was coming, along with Nosferatu and Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, and immediately got excited. In my opinion, Lee Winnell is one of the top 3 or 4 horror directors that we have right now, along with Mike Flanagan, Robert Eggers, Guillermo del Toro, I think is up there. James Wan's kind of fallen off on, for me here in recent times. But we've got this new breed, this new crew of directors that are really kind of making their mark on the industry right now. And Lee Winnell, he just stamped his ticket to being included in that list. I know there's going to be people that don't care for this film. They're going to say that it's not scary. They're going to say that, it's slow, or I didn't like this, or why isn't this a regular werewolf film like the rest of them? And it's not for a reason, right? So let's get into it for a little bit, and then I'll give you what my rating is going to be here at the end. So essentially what you've got is you've got Christopher Abbott and Julia Garner playing husband and wife, and they got a little girl named Ginger. His dad is declared legally dead by the state of Oregon. So they go back to the house that Christopher Abbott's character grew up in to get some things squared away. There's an accident on the way, and then the story progresses from there, right? There's a lot going on in this film, but it's very tight, very small cast, 4 or 5 people, 6 maybe, that play sort of, I won't say they all play pivotal roles, but they all play roles once the family gets on the road. And it is emotionally intense, especially as a father. This is a film very much built around the concept of potentially being overprotective, right? Or being so shielding of your kids that you kind of become what it is that they should be shielded from, right? Which is an amazing take. It's not something that you see portrayed. I don't think I've ever seen it portrayed this way. But man, what an amazing movie. The cast is outstanding. Julia Garner. I mean, obviously, I've seen her in oh hell, the streaming show that she was on with Jason Bateman, and she was amazing there. But I've never seen her on the big screen. I'm honestly not even aware if she's done anything other than Wolfman on the big screen. But I'll be looking her up now. I was very, very impressed with her performance. The little girl that they got to play Ginger. Let me get her name real quick because I don't want to shortchange any of these folks. Matilda Firth. She was amazing. And I'm normally not a big fan of kid actors in horror movies. Nothing against kids as actors, but horror has the ability to go in and really play with emotions that a lot of times children just don't have the experience to be able to portray in a believable manner, right? Think about the little kid in Child's Play 1, right? He was fun, but not great in the role, right? He didn't really start to hit his stride until really about halfway through the second one, and now that he's on the Chucky TV series, I think he's nailing it. But Matilda Firth definitely deserves credit for her role here, and for what she's done, and for her interactions with Christopher Abbott. Throughout the film, it was damn solid. But to me, Christopher Abbott is really the one who steals the show here. I'm going to try to avoid as many spoilers as I can, even though I want to talk about a number of things in this film, and maybe I'll do a spoiler review sometime later, and make it available for folks, just so they can get my full thoughts on everything. But his performance in this movie, if horror movies got the awards attention that they frankly deserve, he should absolutely be considered for an award. The vast majority of his performance is done through nonverbals, and he carries his role so fucking well. I can't talk about this cast enough. Now, from a direction standpoint, there are visuals in this film that are absolutely haunting. And it should be said that you're able to, unlike other Wolfman films, I'm not going to say werewolf films because they're two separate things, but unlike the other Wolfman films, where you tend to be focused on, or you tend to get the story from the quote-unquote damsel in distress, which Julia Garner does not play here. She's distressed, but she's not in distress. The girl can take care of herself. But normally the point of view is from the object of the Wolfman's affection, right? We saw it in Wolf with Michelle Pfeiffer. We saw it in the original Wolfman films. We didn't see it so much in 2010. I think they did a good job of focusing on Benicio del Toro's character and not so much on Emily Blunt. But this one, you really see Lee Whannell and his wife's interpretation of what it would feel like to be in the mind of someone going through this transformation, right? The difficulties in communication, the misunderstandings and miscommunications that can occur during a transformation like this, and on a much broader scale, right? We're not just talking about, miscommunication between a Wolfman and his family. You can also put this down to, someone who's a professional in their life, and, their spouses stay at home and there's miscommunications there. Or someone who's sick and someone who's healthy and not being able to really understand where the other one is coming from. This movie deals with some messages that I was not expecting to see coming out of a Wolfman film. Now, is it perfect? No. Walking out, I was left with a couple of questions that I think I would have liked to have concrete answers for. Um, that being said, I didn't have to have those answers in order to enjoy this film. It is very much a closed story, even though not everything's tied up in a neat little bow. And honestly, I'm nitpicking with this. There is one story point um, that they close, but depending on what happens in the future, it leaves room to be reopened. And I would totally be up for this to become a franchise and to see a second outing. But I mean, it's solid. The score is outstanding. Um, it's fitting for the role that's being played. Nobody in the movie does anything that I thought was dumb or silly. I didn't see a situation where anybody did anything that made me question their humanity, or that it made it difficult for me to suspend my disbelief. Um, I was able to sit down and put my chair back because the theater that I go to has recliners. Thank God, otherwise my back and knees would kill me because I'm at that age now. Um, Eat some popcorn, drink a soda, and just enjoy a damn solid horror movie. That was it was it wasn't terrifying for me, but it was scary and it was emotional. And I think the bulk of that terror or stress that I felt came from the fact that you're dealing with a small family, two parents and one child, in an isolated setting where everyone is trying to do right by everyone else, but shit just keeps getting in the way. They're just not allowed to fully get there. And after watching this, I would love to see Lee Wanell stretch his legs a little bit and get out into drama. Um, I think he could very easily move outside of the horror genre and be successful. There are action scenes in this that not many, but they're very well directed. Um, Nothing is hidden from the eye. It's all there. It's all clear. The use of color in this film is very, very good. Um, would I put it up there with something like I saw the TV glow? No, but this is also a very different film. It's very much, it's set at night and it's set out in the woods and it's meant to be dark and a little damp and kind of mildewy, right? If that makes any sense at all. It's got that feel to it. It's old and it's lived in and it's comfortable, but at times it's very, very bright, peaceful, and just it's an amazing film. I'm just going to say that right now. And if you get a chance to see this in theaters, you absolutely should. Go to the closest theater with the biggest screen and the best sound system you can find. Um, if you can afford to spend money to see this movie, don't wait for it to come at home unless you absolutely have to. If you have a chance to see this in theaters, do it. The experience will be better for it. As far as the horror side goes, I've seen a lot of reviews and whatnot talking about how this movie isn't scary. I've seen a lot of people talking about the idea that the movie relies on jump scares. There's one that I can think of. I mean, in an hour and 40 something minute movie, you have one jump scare. That's not a reliance, that's smart use of it. And it is effective when it happens. Took my 17-year-old son with me, and we were sitting in the back row because that's what I always do, blame it on being a veteran. And we both jumped. The family of four that was sitting to our right, they jumped, and a couple. We had three guys come in and sit down in front of us, and I think all three of them said "damn" at the same time. So it's effective. It's well placed. It's well done. It's not cheesy. It's not hokey. It's not unrealistic. It's not the person goes to the fridge, opens the freezer, and nobody's there. But when they close the freezer, boo, somebody happens to be standing there. It's very, very well done. Um, Ben Prendergast has a small role in this at the very beginning as the main character's father, as Blake's father, and he is so convincing in his role of trying to teach his son what it means to survive and what it means to be a dad and to protect your family. And Lee Winnell does a good job as his role of Dan, as small as it is. But yeah, I was very, very impressed with this film. I'm very, very happy that I pre-ordered the tickets to go see it. And I'm very happy to be able to pass on good news to you all, because I have seen mixed reviews on this. And again, it's all subjective, right? Some of y'all might take my word and go see this and not enjoy it. But this one is definitely worth a shot. I was thoroughly entertained. I left very satisfied with the story that was told. My son and I spent the entire drive home talking about the characterizations of the characters and the way they move and some of the things that they do to react to situations. And this is going to sound funky, but I've never seen a lycanthrope portrayed so realistically, if that makes sense. Now, what I will say, and this is going back to the werewolf versus wolfman discussion, we are talking about two different types of creatures here, right? A werewolf is a full transformation, either happens on the full moon or happens under the control of the individual. It is much more animalistic than it is humanoid. Think Hemlock Grove, or werewolves, or ginger snaps, or cursed. Sorry, I hate to bring that one up because that's a sore spot for a lot of Wes Craven fans. This is a wolf man. This is a man who takes on the characteristics of a wolf. It's a very different thing. And Lee Winnell understands that. Now, from a story standpoint, this is a different story than the 1940s and the 2010 Wolfman. It is updated. It has similar messaging and similar steps, I'll say, throwback motifs or themes, but it is very much a new film. So even for folks that weren't fans of, the original, was it Lon Chaney Jr., I think, in the original Wolfman, or the Benicio del Toro, Anthony Hopkins 2010 film, go give this one a shot. You might like it. This one very much focuses more on the parental side of things and not so much on the, I don't know what the hell you'd call the Benicio del Toro film, the brother-son relationship, I guess. Yeah, give it a shot. It's damn solid. As far as this goes for me, for rewatchability, is very, very high. For character portrayals, very, very high. Sound design, very, very high. Again, this hit pretty much everything that I wanted out of this film. The one little nitpicky thing that I have is there is one story point that while they seemed to seal it up pretty well, it left it just open enough for me that I kind of go back and forth on whether I wanted it to be more tightly sealed up, or if I'm okay with the way it is. And honestly, I think I'm okay with the way it is, but I'm interested to see if anything comes from it. So with that, this is very much a 4.5 star out of 5 star movie for me. The only complaint that I have is I think I would have liked to have seen, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I just went on a rant with somebody. a couple days ago about how long movies are nowadays. Um, I would have liked to have seen another 15, 20 minutes added on to it. I think there are some. Um, I would have liked to have seen more built into the relationship between the two main characters. Not that it's not there and not that it's not good, but I would have liked to have seen a little bit about what brought them to where they are. Um, and I'll just leave that at, yeah, I'll leave that there. But again, it's early in the morning. I've got to get some sleep. And we've talked about, a little over 20 minutes or so about this movie. But please get out, go see it. Um, I hope you enjoy it. Whether you do or not, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. We'll chat it up a little bit and talk it over. But yeah, that's all I've got. Lee Winnell's 2025 Wolfman. We're in a Universal monster movie renaissance. Invisible Man, Nosferatu, Wolfman. We got Frankenstein coming from Guillermo del Toro soon. I'm very excited about that one. But yeah, if you're a horror fan, man, the first half of the 2020s has been absolutely stellar, and it doesn't look like it's slowing down anytime soon. So I am very excited to see what's going on. But yeah, again, I'm Chris from Nightmares and Nerdscapes. Thanks for watching the CJ Reviews series. Give me a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that crap that everybody says all the damn time. Yeah, give me a follow, hook me up on Blue Sky, at CJ Loves Horror. We can chat it up there. I'm pretty active. But again, appreciate you guys hanging out, spending some time with me, and get out and see some films, man. Just go sit and watch a movie. Get your head out all the political crap and just go sit in a dark theater with a bunch of strangers and enjoy an hour and a half to 2 hours of just losing yourself in some cinema. You guys take it easy. Thanks for watching.